Good morning, West Coast. Good afternoon, the East Coast and the Midwest, and welcome to our webinar. This is Vlados Kavickas. I'm a marketing director with the RealtyProx Group and National Closing Center. Once again, welcome to our webinar, and thank you for taking time off your busy schedule to be with us today. Today is our first webinar after our rather long hiatus. As most of you know, we were transitioning from the older system to the newer system, and finally the transition has been completed, with the exception of a few little things that I'm going to cover today. But more or less the transition has been successful. It has been completed, and we are finally resuming our scheduled trainings, webinars, and we're adding new webinars, new guest speakers, and a lot of different new things that we're hoping they're going to be useful for you and for your business. For some of you who have been with us for a while and who are active RealtyProx users, once again I want to extend my apologies for a little bit of a downtime. I'm sure you're aware of the fact that during the transition time, when we were transitioning from the older system to the newer system, we experienced a server crash in one of our co-locations. It actually had nothing to do with the transition. It was just let's call it a bad luck. It just coincided with our transition, so it messed some things up for us, unfortunately, and we had to experience some downtime. So once again, my apologies for that. I know some of you were affected. However, I'm pretty sure that National Closing Center was working all the time, and I'm pretty sure that we haven't lost a single short sale during the downtime. So again, even though the system, the platform itself was experiencing some problems, National Closing Center, our processing company, our sister company, was functioning 100%, and as I said, I believe we have not lost a single short sale file. So this is good, right? So without any further ado, let's get started today. What I want to do today is give you a tour of our new and updated homepage. Some functions are located in some different places, so I want to make sure you're aware of that. And then I want to give a little tour of the logged on area of your dashboard. Then again, there's something new here. The dashboard itself, it's new. So I want to do that. So this is a mix of a RealtyProx platform training and something unique that we haven't done before, just like an overview of the new updated system. So once again, thanks for being here with us. And as always, the house rules are the same. I'm going to do my tour, my presentation. I'm going to try to keep it as brief as possible, although we do have quite a few things to cover. And at the end of the presentation, I will be taking questions. So again, if you have a question right now, if you had a question before you even got on the webinar, feel free to type it in the question panel, and I won't take it right now, but I will take every single question at the end of the webinar in the order the questions were received. But once again, you don't have to write it down somewhere. In case you forget, you can just go ahead and type it right now in the question panel. I'll take it at the end of the session. And a shout out to 24 Asset agents. If you're registered through 24 Asset website, welcome to RealtyProx. And just a quick note, we are the technology providers for 24 Asset for the short sale processing module. So this webinar is for you also, for all RealtyProx users. And if any of you are 24 Asset agents, again, welcome, and we are glad you're using RealtyProx right now. And I hope during this webinar you will learn how RealtyProx and all the other companies in our group can help your business. So this is the homepage. What you're seeing right now is RealtyProx.com homepage. I'm sure most of you are pretty familiar with it by now. A few things we added. So first of all, webinars and trainings. I want to make sure you are aware of the location of this web page, and from now on you don't need to wait for the email from me or from anybody else in RealtyProx. You can just go ahead and register for a webinar through webinars and trainings page. We have right now, as of today, we have 3 types of webinars. So first of all is what we call Grow Your Business with the RealtyProx Network. This is going to be very similar to our today's webinar. It's a recurring webinar, but it's going to be more about National Closing Center, how we can grow your business, a little bit more PowerPoint slides. We're not doing this today because this is a first webinar after our makeover. So again, this is a brief description of the webinar. So if you are new, or if you're bringing somebody new, if you're referring RealtyProx to a friend, that would be the first webinar that they should take. Again, there's no mandates. We're not big fans of tasks, rules, and mandates. Short sales are very fluid type of business, and everybody has different approach. So we're trying to have as little rules and mandates as possible. That doesn't mean we're not organized, but we just don't like to enforce too many rules because we know, as I said, everybody has different work style. But this is our suggestion. If you haven't worked with RealtyProx, if you are sort of shopping, you want to hear what RealtyProx and National Closing Center are about, this would be a good webinar for you. This is RealtyProx 101 with a twist. So it's a little bit more than 101, but if you still remember your college days, yeah, it's not a full-blown, so to speak, training. This is something unique, and again, some of you are probably familiar with that. This is a bi-weekly webinar, Marketing Tuesdays with Lee Hanish. Again, I don't need to speak too much about Lee Hanish. I'm sure most of you are familiar with him. If not, just Google him. Lee Hanish is probably the most known short sale marketing coach. Again, there's a lot of short sale coaches, people who teach you how to do a short sale, how to mitigate your file better, and all of that. This is not what Lee does. What Lee does, he teaches you how to market yourself, how to get more listings. Again, I don't want to go into too many details. You can read a brief introduction to the webinar summary and register. So again, registration is happening here for every webinar. Very straightforward. You select a date that is most convenient for you. In case of Lee's webinar, I suggest to attend every single one because they are slightly different. He's introducing different material. So if you have time, if you have a moment, every second Tuesday, I encourage you to join his webinar as well. And our third webinar is RealtyProx Platform Training, conducted by Esther Wilson, our Senior Processor and Account Executive. This is a platform training per se. So if you are familiar at this point with RealtyProx Group, and if you are taking Lee's classes or not, you have checked him out, and you're ready to submit a short sale, you simply want to know how platform works and how it can help your business grow, this would be the webinar to take. So the RealtyProx Platform Training, Esther will walk you step by step how to start a file, how to initiate a short sale, how to request a processor, how to manage your documents, all of that. This is truly step-by-step webinar. So these are 3 types of webinars that we have right now. And we will be adding surprise webinars. We will have guest speakers. We have quite a few of them scheduled, and we will start adding them into the same page and into the news section. Again, in the coming days, news section will appear here on the top of the page, so you can keep up with us with RealtyProx, with our news and new webinars, new speakers. So again, you're going to hear a lot less from me, or a lot less of me, and a lot more of industry experts and guests and people who deal with data and people who just simply knowledgeable when it comes to short sale processing. So again, these 3 are recurring, constant RealtyProx webinars, and this is where you sign up. And then again, we'll be adding new surprise webinars that are not necessarily going to be recurring. It could be a one-time speaker, and we want to do more of those. Contact us, and about us, there's nothing really important about it in terms of, nothing new. If you want to contact us, click on Contact Us, and our phone is always here. So let me do this now. Let me log on into the system and show a little bit of what's new there. And for those of you who haven't used RealtyProx lately, or for any other reason you need a brief refresher, that's what I intend to do today. Not a full-blown RealtyProx training, but just a tour. We're going to make some stops and cover a few things. In any event, I expect you after this webinar to be completely able to submit a new short sale file if you have one, so bear with me. What we've done here in the new version, we have split logins, so every different role, every different real estate professional involved in short sales and beyond has a different login. So if you're a real estate agent today, I expect that most of you are. You just click on real estate agent and sign in. So let me do that. This is my demo account. This is a fresh demo account, so just bear with me. Here you go. And again, if for some reason you got here by mistake, you don't have an account yet, you can just click Create Free Account. But again, I am pretty sure most of you on this webinar have an account already. So here we go. This is your new dashboard. And for most of you, this is what it's going to look like. This is your picture. You can edit it. You can delete it, you can tweak it, and I will cover the account settings in a minute. But this is the general look of your new dashboard. So let me go ahead to account and cover a few things in the account, especially based on some questions that I have received lately. I want to touch on certain subjects here. So first of all, account details. This is important. All the items that have asterisks next to them, they have to be entered and they have to be current. Again, we don't have that many rules and regulations here, but in order for this system to work for you in any capacity, you need to enter your name and your email and your phone number and your address, your office address. Preferably fax as well, because again, a lot of features, useful features involve faxing, e-faxing via RealtyProx system. So keeping that information current and accurate is very, very important, key. Now, this is simple password changer. So if your account is new, you will be directed here automatically. You are going to have to enter your old password and then select a new secure password, repeat it, and click change. Again, just for security purposes, I do recommend about every 6 weeks or so, or a couple months or so, to just change your password to a new one. And we made it really easy to do it. Again, you just enter your old password, you repeat your new password, click change, and it's done. You can change your profile picture here. Just simply browse and click save, and you will upload a new picture or replace the existing one. License expiration. Again, please keep your licensing information current. You can update it here by clicking on Edit Your Account and upload your license and enter your license information. And this is where you upload your copy of actual license, well, actual physical document. And please note that only PDF formats are accepted. So no JPEGs, no Word documents, no any other strange formats. PDFs only. Now, you probably noticed that agent broker license information is optional, and errors and omissions insurance information is optional as well. So is tax information, and some other fields are optional, including your profile. Everything is explained on the right-hand side here. So if you are not as lazy as I usually am, you're going to read it. If you are just like me, you probably hate reading stuff. You try to figure out without having to read instructions and manuals. I'm guilty of that, and I'm sure some of you are as well. So I'll try to explain this real quick. Everything that says optional, it is optional. When it becomes not optional is if you're involved with one of our partners, National Closing Center, 24 Asset, any other company that at some point might use RealtyProx, to assign some sort of leads, to engage in any other activities, transactions with real estate agents. If they have a requirement to have this information entered, they will let you know, and then you're going to have to go to your RealtyProx account and enter this information that's normally optional. And again, our network is growing. Our goal is to become a network per se, a free network of real estate agents and brokers. We're going to have more and more properties in our network, and I'm going to talk about properties and showings in a minute. So it's a good idea to maintain sort of a full profile. If you have a minute, make sure you just say a few sentences about yourself, list your designations. That will help, you know, if any lead generation programs are going to take place in one form or shape. So it's a good idea, but again, this is not required. A good example of when it is absolutely required is if you have enrolled in a lead program with National Closing Center. And since I mentioned that, let me talk a little bit about it. We haven't advertised it too much, but we are going to. So we're going to talk a little bit about it right now. National Closing Center has a lead program. National Closing Center's leads, of course, they're not bank leads, so they're not hot leads, they're not warm leads, but they're not completely cold leads either. So where do they come from? They come from sources like RealtyTrack. They come from our own proprietary software, and they come from some other partners, including some local partners in local municipalities, and that sort of data sources. So we kind of combine all of those, and what we're looking into our data sources, when we look into them, we're looking for obviously homeowners that are late with their payments. So once we have those, if you are enrolled in our program, and let me get out of the account and go back to your dashboard, and I'm going to cover your dashboard in a second. So since my demo account is already enrolled, but if it wasn't, somewhere around here you would see a button that says enroll, and just follow on-screen prompts, and if you wish you can enroll into lead program. And again, those are free leads. They doesn't cost anything, and of course there is I wouldn't call it a catch, but just, you know, a fair warning. We can't guarantee that these leads will lead you to guaranteed listings, so there's nothing guaranteed about it. But again, we are checking at the time of assigning the lead once you request it, and I'm going to show you in a second how to request a lead. We do check that they're not working with another agent, at least to the point that they haven't listed the property. So these are going to be seriously delinquent homeowners that we think short sale could be a good idea for them. In terms of selling a short sale, and you know better than I do that you cannot sell a short sale to the homeowner. They have to sell a low modification first. You're going to have to assure them that you're going to check for low modification status. You're going to truly make sure there's no any other options for them. And this is Lee Hanish's area. He talks a lot about it. So I'm sure you have your own techniques and you're experienced and in terms of approaching those distressed homeowners. But we can provide in most areas some of those leads, and again, you feel free to explore those leads, and if any of them turn into a short sale listing, so that is a real catch, which is not bad at all. We do request, and during the time of enrollment, we ask you to agree that if any of those leads turn to be a short sale listing, if you list any of those leads, National Closing Center has to be a processing company. So all we ask in return is a shot to the bank's money at the end of the transaction for National Closing Center. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We're not taking part of your commission or any of that sort. If a lead does not turn to be a good lead, you're not able to convert that homeowner, is it too late, or sometimes data is not accurate, no hard feelings. We hope you're not going to have any hard feelings toward us either, because I'm completely open here and honest. I'm not saying we're giving you hot leads, but if you're paying for your leads, this is mostly what you're going to get. So if you're paying for RealtyProx leads, these are going to be very similar leads. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't get RealtyProx, and we probably going to have some people from RealtyProx on one of our upcoming webinars. Their data is pretty good, but again, it varies in certain areas, and in certain areas, obviously, local data sources are better than RealtyProx. I'm not going to lie about that. So this is pretty much the lead program. I kind of covered it a little hastily here. So you can enroll. Again, it's free as long as you agree that National Closing Center is going to process that short sale if it turns out to be a short sale. So going back to your dashboard, so this is your main information. These are your messages. Again, the nature of the messages, how it works, the messaging system hasn't changed. It's just the layout has changed. So this is where you're going to see your new messages. This is where you're going to see all your tasks. I have no tasks in this demo account, but again, this is a very straightforward, simple tasking system, and most of you who were using older system are familiar with that. Same thing here, just a different, we would like to say better, more user-friendly layout, and you can add new tasks here and view all the tasks here. Now, showing module is new. What I need to tell you about showings and offer submissions. They are going to be 100% functional in literally coming days. You can experiment with them. You might see some properties in your areas if you do a search, and all of you have a search area right here. So you can search by MLS number, or you can search by a zip code. Let me just do a test search here, see what comes up. Maybe nothing. Yeah, it's nothing in this area. So that's the thing. The module is completely functional, but we're still connecting your folks' accounts with that module. So properties will start showing up slowly in the next coming days. As I said, you feel free to experiment, but since it's not 100% functional in terms of there's not that many properties in the system, I'm not going to cover this since this is not a full-blown training. And not this coming Thursday, but another Thursday. Let me double check in the calendar right here. So the 19th, Estera is going to conduct a training for you, and by then request showings and offer submissions module is going to be 100% functional, and you will see some properties there. So speaking of benefits, this is one of the benefits of the RealtyProx network, is that all of you entering short sale listings, short sale transactions into the system, you're contributing to our own little property repository. So you can search for properties even in pre-listing stage, and you can submit offers. So that's the goal, and as I said, this will be completed by the let me double check, 19th. Yes, 19th. And so on September 19th, Estera Wilson will be conducting a platform training, and then she will go over offer submission and showing request modules. So today I'm just pointing out what exactly that is. As I said, it functions, but there's not that many properties. But they're coming. We're slowly adding them from your accounts, from your active listings, short sale listings. This is where you're going to see your assignments. So I'm talking about leads, and so let me go ahead and look at the request tab. So under requests, that's where you request new leads. Assuming you have enrolled into the National Closing Center's lead generation program, clicked enroll button, agreed with terms and conditions, then you're going to see the request tab. If you don't see the request tab right now, that means you're not enrolled. You can do that. So once you're ready, you just click Add New and select number of leads. My advice would be, even though we have maximum of 20 leads, don't go crazy because simply we're not going to have that many leads realistically. So if you request 20 leads, probably most of them are going to be declined, and you're going to end up with 3, 4, or 5 leads. So be mindful of that. The lead manager receives the lead request. They're not required to answer immediately, but they are required to look into this within 48 hours and see if there's anything in your area. If there's nothing in your area, what's going to happen? Literally nothing. You're not going to get any leads until we have any in your area. So again, there's no promises or guarantees, but then again, we're not charging you for these leads, and this is sort of like a courtesy program helping you get data of distressed homeowners, and in return, hoping you're going to turn to us when it comes to short sale processing. So if I were you, I would go with, I don't know, 2 to 5 leads. And so if I do that, I can write a note to the manager and say, I'm the best real estate agent, and give me more leads, whatever you want to type. Click Save, and your request goes to the lead manager. Now, once you go back to your dashboard, you will see, first of all, as a message if you have any leads assigned. And then you can go to your assignments and see that you have a lead assigned by a lead manager. You click on that lead, and you have an option to reject lead or accept lead. And again, I worked with you guys for a while. I know that you need to support your families, you have your own preferences, so some of you will not going to like the leads. Maybe this is a condo and you don't like selling condos. Maybe it has a pesky homeowners association, and even though if you outsource this to National Closing Center, we will deal with the homeowners association. But if for some reason you just don't, you're not feeling this, you want to reject the lead, you can reject the lead assignment. If you're going to accept the lead assignment, it's going to be marked as accepted, and is going to disappear from your assignment sections, and is going to become your lead. Here you go. So this is the path in terms of technicalities. You go to requests, assuming you enrolled, you request a lead. Once you receive a lead assignment, you go to, first of all, you're going to see it as a message, then you go to assignments, then you accept or reject it. In either way, this is going to disappear from here, and if it's going to be a accepted lead, it's going to be moved to leads. So requests, assignments, leads, and this is your lead. And in terms of how you work the lead just the same way as you work with your own lead. Let's say you are to add a new lead, same story here. You're going to have to enter some information here, and again, this is not a real quote-unquote training. I'm not going to go into complete details, but really most of this is self-explanatory. You fill out basic information, and then you can convert it to pre-listing. You click Convert to Pre-listing. Now you have steps that you have to complete. Again, we're not big fans of rules, so we don't have long checklists. We just require basic information, and again, if you follow that list of simple 5 steps, you can convert this to a short sale. So first of all is lead, then is pre-listing, and then it's a short sale. So assuming you have completed pre-listing steps, this is your short sale. And again, if you have your own short sale, if you haven't gotten to here following the lead request route, you have your own short sale that you want National Closing Center to process. And again, I have no idea why you wouldn't want somebody else to process your short sales. I know some of you would disagree with me, and you're allowed to do that, of course. you can have your own opinion, but if you look at the top real estate agents, the most successful ones, they either have a lot of resources and they have built their own short sale processing centers, or they're using outsourcers. They're outsourcing the short sales. Especially if you have a relatively small operation, you have a few short sales a month, it doesn't make sense for you to pay somebody a salary, an assistant or manager or whatever you're going to call them. It makes sense to outsource it to somebody like National Closing Center using RealtyProx. And again, if you're located in attorney states like Illinois, and judicial proceeding states like Illinois or New York, or some other states, mostly in Midwest, but not necessarily some on East Coast, we're going to assign an attorney for you. That's just easier. And I know some of you are working with attorneys right now, and some of them are great attorneys. Some of them are not that great attorneys. Some of them are very busy attorneys. And even the best attorneys sometimes are too busy. They were riding the short sale wave, and they were making a lot of money. Most of them, and I've spoken to a lot of them, so trust me, I know it, most of them don't have sufficient technology to handle short sales. And they don't have transparency that we offer. So consider this my sales pitch, and I'm not the best salesman, and I hate selling, but there are certain parts of our operation that I truly believe in. Short sale processing using National Closing Center and using the RealtyProx platform, it just makes sense. Is it for everybody? No, it's not. If you have systems that are 100% foolproof and they work, you may not want to disrupt them, and I understand that. However, you might have some overflow that even your systems cannot handle. In this case, you still can use National Closing Center, and remember, RealtyProx is free. So if you're starting short sales and you're selecting yourself as a processor, you can process all your short sales at no cost. If you at some point decide you want to outsource, you want to request a processor, you can do that, and you can have 3 short sales that you're processing in-house, and then you have another 2 that you have National Closing Center to process. In fact, you can do split testing, what's called split testing in marketing. You can compare a couple of short sales, do a couple yourself if you really want to, and have 2 of them done by National Closing Center and see what's more efficient for you. I'm not saying what's better. I know some of you are really good, and probably most of you are really good when it comes to short sale processing. But it's time, and time is money. And if any of you are Lee Hanish's fans or attending his biweekly trainings, or even are part of his monster training coaching program, you know that it doesn't make sense. It's just not efficient to process your own short sales, even though it's not rocket science, and we acknowledge that you are good and you can do it. So this is my rant / sales pitch here. Other than that, I'm going to move on and continue doing the platform tour. So just keep in mind, RealtyProx right now is the only free enterprise level short sale processing platform. There is no any other free short sale processing platform that has all the functions and all the features that RealtyProx does that is completely free. There is no upsell, there is no credit card required. You can create your account, which most of you do, and start adding your leads or adding your short sales. So again, there are a few ways to get to short sale stage. And if you have a short sale, if you just sign a listing agreement with somebody and you don't want to start it as a lead because it's not a lead anymore, it's a full-blown short sale that needs to go to the bank ASAP, so this is where you start. You add a new short sale here, and you make one of the most important decisions in terms of this particular file. You decide if National Closing Center is going to process this one, or you, or demo me, in that case, Raymond Elliott, is going to process it himself. Either way, RealtyProx is free. And then again, you enter property details, you select homeowners association, yes or no, and save the file. So in the new system, and again, I want to point out this, that we hope this is a lot more user-friendly. The layout is a lot more neat. And it's also more tablet-friendly. So if any of you would like to do a test just after this webinar, go on your tablet and look at the platform. We have widened a little bit all of these tabs here, so it's easier to enter data in on a tablet and even a smartphone, although we kind of don't recommend using this on a smartphone. It's going to work 100%. It's just the platform is too complex. The short sales are too complex, and if you just want to check the status, if you want to send a quick message, it's awesome. It works on the phone. Other than that, I would recommend a traditional machine laptop or desktop or a tablet, but it works phenomenally well on a tablet right now, this new version. So let's go get into my demo short sale here. Regardless which route you got here, whether you started with a lead, your own lead, or you requested a lead from National Closing Center, once you ready to sign a listing agreement, you can add a new short sale, and this is what it looks like. And before you have a listing agreement, you can still add it and kind of slowly build the information, but it really becomes, in our understanding, a short sale only after you have a listing agreement and ready to push this to the bank. So this is your main information. This is your property picture, which you enter here under marketing photos. Simple upload. Uploaded shows up here. You have a map here, so you can click on the map. You can zoom in. My properties here in LA, my demo property, and I can hide map right here. Everything else hasn't changed in terms of how the platform functions. So this is your main information. These are your users. Automatically, you have processing company's information here attached to every file if you selected National Closing Center. And you have escalation department automatically entered here for you if you chose National Closing Center to process your short sales. So we really try to operate as a little bank in a sense. We want to mimic their setup so it's familiar to you when you work with National Closing Center. So we have your, you have your processing company's information, and you have escalation department. Anything goes wrong, there's a direct phone number with extension. You can contact Estera, the same great lady that does weekly trainings that will resume on September 19th. You can contact her. Again, communication is key. Is everyone perfect? No. We have 12 processors, 12 full-time processors, and the human. Sometimes they make mistakes. So it's important to try to clarify any misunderstandings directly with them. But if you do have a real problem, if you're feeling that something is wrong, you can always contact Escalation Department, Estera at Escalation Department. And again, her phone number and her email address and even her fax is automatically entered into every file once you select National Closing Center as your processing company. This is Demo Me Listing Agent, and again, nothing has changed here. You can add Selling Agent by looking them up in the system if they're using RealtyProx, and then the system will autofill all the fields. If they're new, you're going to have to create an account for them, which is done very easily. You enter basic information, click Add, and the system will send an email to a new agent, selling agent, saying that you, a listing agent, are using this free software to manage short sales, and that they invited to connect and view this file, participate in processing of this file. Just like that, you can also attach title escrow company if they're willing to participate in this, and more of them are. Again, it's free for them. They can upload HUD-1. They can upload other information pertaining to title escrow companies, communicate, use messaging, use email, and all the other features. Again, nothing has changed here except of sleeker design, property information, seller co-borrower information. Nothing has changed here. Mortgage information, again, same system. You select your lender from the drop-down menu. You click Save, and the system automatically generates a blank short sale package. And again, on the right-hand side, this is your document depository, all your documents, everything that has to do with PDF files and information like that. It's on the right-hand side. So in this particular case, we have blank bank short sale package, and we have first mortgage. We have only one mortgage. Important part here, mortgage authorization is always the first document. It's automatically generated, and it automatically has National Closing Center's information. So you need to get signature from your borrower, but just so you know, once you select your bank, your mortgage information, the system will generate short sale package for you, and the very first document is going to be mortgage authorization information. Now on the right hand side, and this is minus all the new stuff and some comments and some rants, this is the most important part if you are looking to outsource your short sales to National Closing Center. So first of all, pay attention, spend 35 seconds and read this. This is all you need to know, because if you're selecting National Closing Center to process your file, most of the work will be done with National Closing Center. They will contact the homeowner on your behalf after you notify the homeowner that they will hear from, they'll be hearing from National Closing Center. They will collect the documents, they will package them, they will send them to the bank. But this is the crucial information that you need to pay attention to. So first of all, this is the fax/email cover sheet. So let me download it real quick for demonstration purposes here. This is what it looks like. It's a simple fax/email cover sheet that happens to contain a barcode on the top and on the bottom. All the information that anybody might need in terms of how to handle this fax email cover sheet, it's on the cover sheet. But the way it functions is that you can email it directly from the system or from your own email, or you can fax it to anybody that you need documents from. As long as they use this fax/email cover sheet, as they fax cover sheet, all the documents that are with that cover sheet are going to be auto-uploaded in that particular file in your system. So again, if I go back to my dashboard, right here you see new documents. If somebody used that cover sheet to send documents to you, whether using RealtyProx's free fax, and again, fax number is on the cover sheet. So as long as your sender, the document provider, is using that cover sheet and faxing docs to this particular phone number that's on the cover sheet, I'm sorry, the fax number that's on cover sheet, you're going to receive these documents directly into your RealtyProx account under new documents, and then you can view them and sort them and place them into the right section in your file. The email/fax or fax/email cover sheet works exactly in the same way with email, as long as your sender attaches this PDF file, one page, to their message, to the email message. All the other documents attached to this message will end up in your dashboard associated with your short sale file. So again, if you're using National Closing Center, they might be using this feature more than you, but in any event, if you want to receive any files, I highly recommend using this feature. It saves time, and this is why you need RealtyProx. This is why it's useful. And instead of using your quote-unquote real fax, dealing with real papers, not having everything organized, this is where RealtyProx comes in handy. And now if you're using National Closing Center, these are your 5 steps that you need to do. These are literally the easiest 5 steps ever in a short sale processing history. We have simplified this as much as possible, and I don't believe it's possible to make it even more simple. So step 1 is going to be provide listing agreement. You see listing agreement section here. You click upload. If you have a PDF, upload it here. You can e-fax it to yourself. You can email it to yourself. Whichever way you decide to get it here, you can get it here to listing agreement. It stays there, and this is your first step. Step number 2, I already done this on this file. This is mortgage information. Again, is this difficult? It's not. You select a few drop-downs. You enter basic information. You select your lender. You click Save, and this is done. Of course, you have to, at this point, once you have the blank short sale package generated, you have to have your homeowner sign and fill everything out. Now, the good news is we have e-signature. To be honest with you, they're still working on a few little things. I tested it this morning. It works just fine for me. But some users reported some difficulties. So again, I would call this in beta stage. In about 7 to 10 days, it will be 100% functional. But again, it worked for me this morning. It works for most users, but we did get a few reports of some misfires, I can say. But very quickly, if I go to First Mortgage and I have mortgage information, mortgage authorization, you see electronic signature right here. Let's say I want the homeowner to use electronic signature. They have email. They're educated enough to do that. Think about saving a trip for you. Think about not having to email this to them. And again, you don't have to use this, but it's free. Free integrated e-signature. So why not play with this and see if that's for you? I know some of you are going to love it. Some of you are going to probably dislike it and not use it, and that's fine. But it's there for you free. So anyway, let's call him Jim Seller. So I want Jim Seller to sign this document. If you need more signers, you can add more signers. But for the sake of simplicity, let's just go with Jim right now and click e-sign. Sorry, here you go. Seller, and this is his email. This email, of course, is going to be my email here. For demonstration purposes, RealtyProx.com. Make sure I spelled it right, and click e-sign. You get this window here where you can kind of place the little yellow thingy sticky notes with arrows where Jim Seller needs to sign. So I don't want his initials. I want his full signature where it says borrower's signature, and let me put it here. So Jim Seller, you're going to have to sign here. If there's a co-borrower, you can do co-borrower, and I just showed you a second ago that you can add 2 signers. But again, for the sake of simplicity, let's go with 1 signer. I'm done with this, and I click e-sign. Okay, here you go, document sent for signing. So let's go to my email. Now you're going to see all my secret messages. Did it go to junk email? Very likely. Let's wait a second, or did I misspell something? Hang on here for 1 second. As I said, it worked perfectly this morning. Here you go. It might take a second, but it actually went straight to the main inbox, so that's good. All right, so this is what your homeowner or selling agent or whoever you're going to try to obtain a signature from is going to get. So they're going to get this email with all explanations. Please open, review, and sign the document at the link below. As straightforward as that. So if I'm homeowner, I click on this magic link here, and I have to enter this code for security reasons. It's right there. So it's 6846, and then I click continue to next step. This is a long agreement, of course, because this is the third party that we work with that provides e-signature. The homeowner agrees with terms and conditions and continue to next step. Now the homeowner has an option to choose the font for their electronic signature. So let's say I want to be fancy and I want to select I did this, and this is Jim Seller, and I say okay, I like this font and continue to next step. I forgot to agree with terms and conditions again, just making sure that I'm really authorizing this electronic fancy signature to replace my quote-unquote real signature. So continue to next step, and it prompts me that wherever you see this yellow sticky note, I need to put my signature. So we're ready, start signing. It says somewhere here, down here, there is a place I need to sign. Scroll down, and here you go, where Demo Me listing agent has indicated that he needs a electronic signature from the homeowner right here. So it's very easy. All I have to do is just click, and I'm done. As you notice, the system also stamps a date right here, so you don't need to do a separate date in the separate place. Again, when we're dealing with banks, some banks are not super happy, let's put it this way, with electronic signatures, but most of them are starting to accept it in one way or another. And when it comes to electronic signature, the way it works, it's always data stamped under the signature. So if they are accepting electronic signature, they will accept it in this format. If they're not accepting electronic signature, they won't accept it anyway, even if you do date separately. But most electronic signature companies, the way they work is they stamp date and time under your signature. Again, think about this, that this is not only for the bank, but if there's something between you agents or your attorney, there's some extra agreements, you can use that. Now, once we implement regular transaction management, traditional equity sales, which we've been working on, and we postponed the launch because we're trying to make it even better. But once we have traditional equity sale management, in my personal opinion, electronic signatures are going to be irreplaceable. It will save a lot of time because a lot of signing going on is between the broker and the agent. And so if you two agree that you're fine with electronic signature, which you should, it's 21st century, so there's no bank involved, there's no government involved, so you two can definitely sign this electronically and save a lot of time for both of you. So if I'm a homeowner, I click Finish. It's finishing the process. It says, Jim, your documents are available electronically for 90 days. You can go access them. So just pretty much follow on-screen prompts. And if I go back to my email, I'm also going to get a copy of my e-disclosure consent. So everybody knows that this is now legal, that you have agreed with this, and you can't get out of this contract. In the United States is as legal as your quote-unquote real physical signature right now if it's done in this particular way. And now you can download this document, print, save it in your machine, and then you can go ahead and upload it back into the RealtyProx system. So I encourage you to experiment with this. I know this is new for probably most of you. I'm sure some of you have been using electronic signatures in one form or shape, but right now it's part of RealtyProx as well, and it's free. So you're getting your free e-faxes, you're getting your free messaging, you're getting free transaction management, and you're getting free e-signatures. So step 3, authorization. So let's see, we just did that. Step 4, additional documents. So you see, it's not even a real step. Step 4 is if you have obtained any additional documents from the homeowner, you can upload them or e-fax them to yourself or do a document request to yourself or however else you want to get them to your destination into the RealtyProx platform. If you don't have any documents, if you haven't spoken to the homeowner, if they didn't bring any other documents to your listing appointment, that is totally fine. That's why National Closing Center is here. As long as you alert your homeowner that National Closing Center, a company that does processing, so they're not attorneys, they're not debt collectors, they are just people processing the file, making sure it goes faster through the bank. No homeowner ever I don't know, gave us any problems or didn't want to talk to National Closing Center. They actually are glad that there are more parties involved that are doing something. So as long as it's, as long as it's presented correctly, normally our processors are very good in communicating with distressed homeowners, and so they are able to get these docs one way or another, faxes, emails, traditional snail mail, and whatnot. So if you don't have any additional documents, that's totally fine. You can go to the next step. And step 5 is request processors. So you pretty much have 3 steps only to do. Once you do those 3 steps, you are ready to request a processor. Your work as a listing agent is done. Everything else is going to be done by National Closing Center via RealtyProx. Very, very important, and don't forget that. If you're not sure if you're ready to request a processor, just click the button Request Processor. The system will spit out some errors, if there are any errors. what the system considers to be an error is there's something missing. So I talked about it, but I actually haven't done it right now. I haven't uploaded listing agreement, so I have to do that. I need to enter seller's information into the seller and co-borrower, and it even points to the correct section of the system, and I need to complete my real estate commission fields in the main info section. So again, sometimes we all have to read a little bit, and I'm speaking from my own experience. I hate following directions and reading, but if I did that, my life would be easier. And this is a very simple system. So you look into the main info section, and you look into the real estate commissions, and it calculates the percentage. So let's say it could be a flat fee, or it could be a percentage. If I say it's a percentage, then it calculates the amount. Since I haven't entered any amount, so it's not going to calculate anything, but you get the gist. So once you're done with all these steps and you click Request Processor and you fix the errors, then it goes through. It goes to the National Closing Center's call center, and the manager on duty is going to assign a processor to you. As long as you get the error message, the National Closing Center hasn't received your request. As simple as that. Please bear that in mind. We get a misunderstanding once in a while here and there where listing agent clicks Request Processor, gets the error message, ignores it, and thinks that National Closing Center has received their processing request. Again, everything is on the right-hand side here. So if you only paid attention for 1 minute and read this right here, you will never ever going to have any problems. You're going to follow easy 5 steps, 2 of which are not even real steps, so pretty much 3 steps, and then you request a processor. Once your requests go through, you're going to receive an email alerting you that, thank you, we have received your processing request. And then in 24 hours, National Closing Center, the manager on duty, is going to assign a processor to your file. Now, what happens after that? I'm leaving this to Estera's training, which is going to take place every Thursday starting from the next Thursday, not this Thursday, but Thursday next week. The file enters different stage, and then your work is done. But through RealtyProx, you're going to be able to get all the updates. You're going to be able to write and read messages, see file statuses, and all of that. So most of you, I'm sure, have used RealtyProx before if you're on this call. So this part hasn't really changed. Only design has changed. Just to put it simply, you will be completely in control. You get all the communications. You get all the updates every week. You'll have your processor's information. You can talk to your processor. However, you will not have to do all the hard work of actually dealing with a bank. From my perspective, from somebody who's with RealtyProx, your work here is done. As long as you complete these 5 steps, your work is done, and you can sit back, relax, go get more short sales, and yet you're still going to get all the updates from the National Closing Center, and one day you're going to get an email saying your homeowner, the short sale has been approved, and you're going to schedule a closing date. And our processors are even, lately they've been helping coordinate your closings, so just to make sure closings happen. Now, I know it's been a full hour here. There was a lot of stuff to cover, and I'm just going to jump quickly into the questions and see what questions do I have at this moment. And if I have any, I'm going to answer those questions for you. And I do have a few questions. So again, thank you so much for staying with us. First question is, how much does National Closing Center charge for these services? And that is a good question. So National Closing Center charges $149 per closed transaction. Once again, it's $149, not $1,400, not flat rate commissions or anything like that. $149 per closed transaction. Now, what we really, really, really very seriously recommend to you is, as a listing agent, keep 3.75% for yourself. make that 0.75% of commission your reserve. Legally, we are not going back to you and ask for more money if we are not able to obtain funds from the bank. But short sales are just sticky situations. Different states, different laws. We're not a loss mitigation company per se. In judicial states, we're affiliated with attorneys, so in those states, mitigation per se is done by attorneys. So in most cases, we're able to obtain our fees from the bank at the end of the transaction. We want this to be nearly free to you. Only $149 document fulfillment fee, which is really not a high fee at all. However, and again, I cannot stress this enough, and I know some of you are probably not going to agree with me, but trust me, people who are doing a lot of short sales, they're adopting this strategy and it works. You know the situation that there is a clear shortage in terms of inventory. So your seller is king in this situation. You have to contract processing company in order to push the short sale through the bank. You're doing a lot of work. Your homeowner is doing a lot of work. Your homeowner is distressed. Everybody in this transaction have to deal with the homeowner, and that's work. If your selling agent doesn't understand this, it's too bad. So you have to keep 3.75 to yourself and keep that 0.75 as a reserve. If National Closing Center gets paid at the end of transaction, very last one to get paid, by the way, we gladly leave this 0.75 alone, and you're going to get your commission that you deserve. However, if things go bad, and it happens not that often, and we get nothing from the bank, and we work on your short sale for 2 or 3 months, we kindly going to ask you to compensate for whatever we should have gotten from the bank, no more than that 0.75. So in other words, you're still going to get your 3%. We're not robbing you off of 3%, but we're going to ask you to supplement the shortage that we haven't gotten from the bank from that cushion, from that reserve 0.75. Again, I know some of you adamantly disagree with this, and we can't force you to work this way, and we're not going to go and try to rob you of your commission. So if you decide to split 50-50, 3 and 3%, we're not going to take from your commission, from your 3%. But again, if you think rational about this, if you assess the situation in the market right now, keeping 3.75 for yourself and giving a little less to the selling agent makes sense. Now, if you want my true honest opinion, and this could sound harsh, selling agents don't really matter in a sense that buyers are driving this market. And by market, I mean the internet searches, the listing websites, and all of that. Buyers are going online first, and then they're finding the agent. So they're not, a lot of them, they're not going to an agent and saying, find me a house. They're going online first. They're making decisions. They're hiring the agent. The buyer wants that house. So if the selling agent wants to be the selling agent and represent that buyer, they're going to have to agree with 3.75. And again, it's a short sale. Selling agent does nothing in particular. However, listing agent on a short sale is working with a processing company and dealing with a distressed homeowner, borrower, which is a lot of work. We can look any way we want. We can sugarcoat this any way we want. Dealing with distressed homeowner is a lot of work, a lot of more work than dealing with traditional equity sales and sellers. So again, have an honest conversation with a selling agent. Explain how you work. Explain that you're using free technology, and you're more than happy to plug in the selling agent into this technology. You're using third-party processing agency company, and so there's a lot of work that goes into it, and you deserve that 3.75, especially considering that this 0.75 is your cushion, your reserve, in case things go wrong. So again, legally, National Closing Center charges 1.9 per closed transaction. But we are a relatively small company, even though we're a nationwide company, we're not a bank. And we believe in true human business relationships, not just, I don't know you, you don't know me, let's do a transaction, bye-bye. So we're not going to go and legally ask you for your commission. But if you do follow our recommendations and you keep that cushion, and we are going to provide documents and show you, here you go, this is head one, we're truly really getting zero for our 2 or 3 months of work. Do you mind that we're going to have to use that cushion at 0.75 and cover our expenses? And honestly, through almost 5 years of operations, and even though we started recommending this relatively lately only, I can recall only one real estate professional that really disagreed with this and said, I'm not legally required, so I'm not going to pay you anything. It's your problem. You got nothing from the bank. And that's fine. That's their right. But I can only think of one person. Everybody else who followed our recommendation volunteered to share that cushion. They said, I'm fine with my 3%. I maybe going to double land the next time or whatever they're doing. I'm happy with 3%, 0.75%. Here you go. This is for your hard work. And again, if we get paid from the bank, if National Closing Center gets paid from the bank, we are more than happy that this 0.75, extra 0.75 goes to you. We're not going to try to double end on our end and get money from the bank and get money from you. That's not why we're in business. That's not how we do business. So this is my long answer to in terms of fees of National Closing Center. I think this is very competitive. Most of attorneys are charging flat fee, and especially in California, which is not a judicial state, which is an escrow state, processing mitigation companies are charging flat fees, and they're charging 1%. A lot of them are charging 1%. So we truly believe our fees are very reasonable, very fair, and based on honest human business relationships that we want to build with you guys. All right, let's move to the next question if I have any more. Let me see. Here you go. 1 second. From where you're getting leads for short sale? Combination of sources. RealtyTrox, our own proprietary software, and contacts in some municipalities. So this is pretty much, we're not buying them. These are not the same leads as you're going to get for free. You're most likely not going to get these leads for free on the internet unless you know where to look. So the best comparison is RealtyTrox leads. How much is the charge? Could not hear. Please type it in. Thanks. So once again, if you're asking about the lead program, you enroll in your dashboard and it's free. National Closing Center charge is normally $149 per closed transaction, unless something goes bad, and then we're going to have to ask you if you followed our recommendations to use your reserve, your cushion, 0.75%. But again, this is what we're asking you to volunteer. Most of the time, we're getting the payment from the bank, and we're not asking for you to cover the expenses. And how do I register for leads? In your dashboard, again, since this is my demo account and it has already been enrolled, I have view assignments here. If you're new and if you have never enrolled into the lead generation program, you should see enroll button somewhere here. So go to your dashboard and make sure you find enroll program and just follow on-screen prompts. Just click enroll, agree with terms and conditions, and once you enrolled, you're going to see requests tab. Under requests, you're going to add a new request, and select how many leads. So I already went through this. Okay, and again, this is not, and I'm being upfront and honest, this is not bank assignments. This is not some preferred network hot leads. These are distressed homeowners that are currently distressed. They've been behind, and that they need help right now. And we think this is a good idea for you to contact them and see if you could do a short sale for them. Here we go. One more question. Many banks require short sales be submitted on Equator. Do you work with Equator? Yes, we do. So this is how it works. If you're using RealtyProx and National Closing Center as your processor, National Closing Center people will do everything that's required on Equator. So RealtyProx is a listing agent-centered platform that allows National Closing Center and you to communicate. However, we understand that in order to fulfill banks' requirements, it would make no sense for you guys to work on two platforms. So this way, with your consent, we're going to use your account, and the processors, just like your assistant in your office, with your permission, of course, is going to use your account to do all the required tasks on Equator. So this way, you get credit for closing a short sale. You get credit on Equator platform, and obviously have access to your account. If you have any questions, you can talk to your processor. Additionally, in certain states, we are able to use our attorney's account if you're not comfortable using your account. But in most cases, we work things out, and our processor will use your account in Equator. So this way, you don't have to do double work. You don't have to enter information and do tasks on Equator. This is a complete outsourcing, so NCC takes over and does it for you. Request tab does not appear as a selection. If you have enrolled into the lead program and you got a confirmation email, log out, log back on, and you should see request tab. If you can't locate enroll tab, give us a call after this webinar, or just email me at Vladas, V as in Victor, L as in Larry, A as in Apple, D as in Dan, A as in Apple, S as in Sally, K as in Kale, at RealtyProx.com. So Vladas, K, at RealtyProx.com. All right. So it appears that I don't see any other questions. If I missed something, feel free to contact me. Give us a call on our general phone with RealtyProx, or email me, as I said, at Vladas, K, V-L-A-D-S-K, at RealtyProx.com, and I'll be more than happy, or anybody else who might be more knowledgeable than me, who is actually doing short sale processing, they will answer any questions that you may have. But once again, if you're new, give us a shot. If you've been using RealtyProx before and you're coming back after our brief unfortunate hiatus, welcome back. And as I said, we'll resume our Thursday trainings, and feel free to ask questions, get in touch with us, and expect quite a few guest speakers, webinars, free trainings, and stuff like that coming up in coming weeks. Someone is asking, can we get a copy of recording? I hope so. Again, it hasn't been good month in terms of technology, but I think we're finally back on track. So past couple of webinars when we did with Lee Hanish, we had no audio, and that was apparently a glitch with GoToMeeting platform. So they tweaked it for us, and hopefully I got up at 6 in the morning this morning and did a lot of tests and spent some time on the phone with GoToMeeting people. So hopefully this works out. The webinar is being recorded, and I hope the glitch is fixed, and we'll have some audio this time. So as soon as I'm done with this, I look into my email. Since I've been on this webinar for over an hour, I'll answer my emails, and I will get back to you guys and send to all the attendees a link to the recording if it's available. So most likely by tomorrow afternoon I should have it. If unfortunately no audio, again, we're going to have to resume our work with GoToMeeting folks and have this fixed, okay? So once again, thank you so much for getting back on track with us. Again, if you're new, welcome, and I hope you give a shot to RealtyProx and National Closing Center. And again, keep in mind, RealtyProx is right now the only enterprise-level short sale processing platform that is completely free. You can do your own short sales. You can contact National Closing Center to do them for you. Then the processing part is not completely free, but I believe it's very, very, very competitively priced, considering that we do not charge anything up front, and we only get paid by we, meaning National Closing Center, gets only paid at the end of the transaction. So that means there is an extra incentive for our folks to work really hard to close those files. So again, I'm sorry for going a little bit over the limit, over the time limit. We had a lot of things to cover today. Thank you so much for spending time with us today with RealtyProx. Have a wonderful day, have a great week, and we look forward to seeing you in our future webinars.